Okay, we're here. It's I don't know, episode 9, Dark Folly.
How about Happy New Year, Arthur? Come on,
Oh,
get in with
Happy
it.
New Year,
Get
everybody!
excited.
Listen, my blood pressure skyrocketed reading Hour of the Wolf.
I mean,
Every
you have
new
no one to
paragraph
blame but yourself
unveils
for this.
something new and something bad. I'm trying to go at it with an open mind.
You know what most normal human beings do, Arthur? Let me tell you what normal human beings do.
What do normal human
this
beings
sucks. And then they never pick it up again.
But I run BattleTech professionally, Dave. I need to know how it ends.
You can make up whatever fucking story you want.
But I like running it canonically.
If you can listen to somebody else reading it like it's actually serious, maybe that will help. Rather than like you reading it in the I can't believe this shit is going on.
I will admit there was I've not been able to approach the Warhammer books in any way, but there was like a red Warhammer thing that was turned into some sort of weird war movie YouTube video.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Was that the Hell's Reach?
Oh, no. Hell's Reach, yeah.
Hell's Reach,
and the Marines are all like, he earned 5 names that day, and he carried the banner, though he was more than worthy to move up on his own, yet he stayed with us. I was like,
Hell's Reach is a good fucking
if every fucking Warhammer novel was like this, with this guy reading it, it would be incredible. But most of them are just like, he was evil. So evil your skin would crawl. Just the most evilest evil. Also, sex is bad. Having sex one time made this Inquisitor evil. Now she's evil.
You know, think of the most evil guy you can think of. Now times that by 5. That's how evil this guy was.
I gotta say, the 40K audio dramas are actually pretty good in terms of when they get like multiple voice actors and they do sound effects. There was one, Catherine Tate, who's a British comedian. She voiced Katerina Greyfax, Inquisitor for
Inquisitor Cinderace. I know this name.
And
Wait, is that her actual name?
No, she just follows around a woman named Celestina, and it's just at first she's like, "You're not a living saint. You're bad. I'm an Inquisitor. You're under arrest." And by the end of it, she's like, "Celestina senpai, notice me."
Exactly. But so I was listening to an interview with Catherine Tate, like on the CD that came with like an interview part as well, and of course she's got no in on the 40K lore. She's not into 40K. She's just asked to come in and read these lines, and she was talking about just how ridiculous the script was. Like she had a lot of fun doing it because of just how stupid all these made up words were, and yeah.
That's how I feel. Honestly,
Ian
that is how
McKellen?
I feel about this entire game scenario. It's just like, yeah, 40K. It's a good time. No fucking idea what's happening.
There's a video of Ian McKellen reading one of the Fate novels from the Fate Grand Order universe, and he's just like, this is very sad. This novel is sad. It's difficult to read this.
And then you feel bad for making Ian McKellen read a Fate novel.
Listen, the current storylines are fucking nuts. They're literally like, all right, so somebody genocided Earth and made 7 other Earths. You have to go genocide all of them to bring the original Earth back. We're going to make you fall in love with characters from every single one of the Earths, and then you have to kill all of them. And not like some of them. You have to kill all of them.
That is literally the story of my new Nero game. That's disturbing.
Somebody got into your GM binder, James.
I mean, the storyline launched 2 years ago, so unless your new Monera game is 2+ years old.
It's more than that. It's like almost 4 years old now.
Uh-oh. Sounds like maybe Nasu's been cribbing your notes, man. All right. I gotta calm down or my heart's gonna explode from all the rage I'm feeling. Hour of the Wolf, man. I had such high hopes. I thought it was going to be epic. I thought it was going to be like Endgame. And instead, it's not Endgame. You know, speaking of Endgame, let's talk to, I don't know, Pond of the Mad.
I'm not needing to
I don't know if your segues are getting better or worse.
Oh, they're getting worse.
They're getting worse.
They're getting worse for sure. There's no question about it.
Can I stop asking Pondo a question?
Yes.
Cyberpunk 2077. I saw you started playing it this week. So tell us your honest Pondo review.
I would say I'm hooked at it just because I've consistently lost track of time when playing it. So at one point, one night, I was playing until like 5 a.m. in the morning.
In there.
Yeah. It's really fun. It's a buggy mess, but it's still fun. It might be because I'm playing on very hard. I don't know, but the random spikes of this guy just one shots you, you're dead.
That's because you got
a
shot
little
in the
annoying.
face, my man.
Huh?
That's because you got shot in the face.
Is that actually a thing? You can take a shot to the face and just die. Okay,
Listen.
I didn't.
Listen, Pondo, I want to tell
Welcome
you.
to the very hard life, my man. It's a good life, but you'll eventually work out how to get around all that shit pretty easily.
I thought I was a god. It's my equipment, because there's a mission where you wake up in a bathtub and you have no equipment and you have to escape an
Shouldn't
apartment.
touch dodgy brain dancers, Arthur.
I was almost certain what was going to happen going in. I wanted it, and the thing is, you don't get your money back at the end. That's what really pisses me off.
I know. Yeah.
Well, that'd be rough. Just going in with like.
So
100K
the
and then
one
just losing it all.
neat trick I had was if you get Johnny Silverhand's pants and you upgrade them, currently the blue and purple pants can never leave your inventory ever. I can't get rid of them no matter what I do.
Yeah,
And
because
so when I
missions-
woke up in the bathtub, I could put on his pants. That was the only piece of equipment I had. And the very
some
first fight
missions
is
force
like,
you to put on
I'm a
his
guy with a
gear, so-
chain gun. I fucking gun you down and kill you in less than a second. And I was like, I have spent many hours at this game learning to stealth. It is time to use all of the mastery of my craft to kill everyone in the next 5 rooms without making a noise.
Stealth isn't really that hard in that game, to be honest.
It's really hard when you go around a corner and somebody's just like, oh, yeah, I was actually looking directly at you as soon as you went around the corner.
No.
just use the whistle tech.
I don't have that. I should probably get it.
Whistle, blind, like cybernetic blind, and distract are the only things that I use.
I
and
use ping and cyberware malfunction.
I
Those
don't
are-
even use ping. Ping is stupid.
What? Ping is one of the strongest in the entire game.
Yeah, ping is real good.
You're insane.
Maybe I'm just not seeing the overall.
Okay, so when you're in hacking mode, time is completely slowed down. If you ping, you can find every enemy on the map and then mark their locations. So when you're sneaking around, you'll never run face first into somebody unless you didn't see them on the ping and you didn't mark them, and then you're like, well, shit, I guess it's time to punch a man in the face.
And if you've got contagion, you can get them all the same virus at the same time.
That's true.
Oh.
Yeah. The
Listen.
idea that you can sit outside, go into someone's camera, and then bounce around inside of the thing and just kill everyone without even entering the room. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, man, you need to get ping. It's super strong.
I mean, I have ping. I just unequipped it because I wasn't really paying attention to like the tutorial of it because it was
insane.
annoying me.
You're a madman.
Yep. I mean,
just
like
been-
that game, man. I'm getting to a point where it's like I want to keep doing the side missions because, James, like you said, I got to the point where it's like, yeah, if you do this, it's a point of no return, and it made no sense. Like it's just like, here you go. Now this is the last mission of the game. I'm like, what? That makes no sense. Why is this the last mission? There's
It's
not
not.
enough resolve
It's like there's a series of missions, but like you can't go back to the open world once you start that last set of missions.
Yeah, but it just doesn't make any sense why that would get to that point. Like there was no
It's
point
not
leading up
obvious.
to that,
It's
so.
not an obvious climactic moment.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know that. Guys, did you know that you can put on Johnny Silverhand's arm?
No, but that's
I did
weird.
not.
That's
What does it
pretty
even
messed
do?
up.
You can put it on. It's awesome. It's fucking sick. So good.
I did enjoy it. I actually no, I want to stop. I don't want to say spoilers.
Oh, come on, you're not that far in.
I got as far as when you first after you get conked out and start meeting Johnny Silverhand.
You're right. You're not that far.
The one thing I will say that I thought was very weird and jarring is how, like, the night before you wake up, he's like, "I'm going to kill you," and then suddenly, immediately after, is like, "We're buddy now."
I changed my mind.
Listen, trust me, as you do every quest in the entire world, he flip-flops between those two states.
He does, because they're going on when they think he did that in the storyline. Sometimes he's just a total cunt to you, and other times he's your best mate.
My favorite one is like, because I'm basically buddy with him the entire way because I think it's fucking great. And I think like everyone who said Keanu Reeves didn't do good acting in that game is a fucking like, terrible. He did a fantastic job in that game, honestly. Like the amount of lingo he just naturally spews out of his mouth is just fucking fantastic.
And it sounds good.
It sounds normal to him. It's not like he's saying like tumor or anything like that, he's using the lingo correctly. It sounds really good. He did a fantastic job.
There's some people where it sounds forced. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and oh god, some of the side missions he do with Johnny is just like he has such interesting like little tidbits that come in. But the flip flopping is kind of like
Dave,
a
I don't
weird
know
one.
if you knew this, but Johnny Silverhand has a huge cock.
Yeah.
Everybody that's laughing had to do that mission already.
I know the mission you're talking about.
Now I'm expecting it.
Yeah. But in all honesty, like there are some really good missions with him. I don't know if you guys have done any of these. I don't know how much you've done with him, but I'm doing one right now, and I'm just like, yes, this is the shit because there's so many side missions that are just like way better than most of the story missions I've been on.
And
like
right now I'm just
insanely
kind of trying to do quite a bit of the gigs and then side jobs. The one where you go around to fight, just do a fist fight with several people.
Beat on the brat.
Yeah, fight club.
That's
Hey man, some of those
the
turned out
punching
to be
melee
pretty
is
hard.
so weird.
Look, dude, when you get to the point where you're slowing down time every time someone looks in your direction, and then when you punch them, you fucking send them flying halfway across the map. It's easy. Don't worry about it.
No, the
Yeah,
fight with the
it's
rhino
like-
was incredibly tough. I had to do that 2 or 3 times before I got it down.
Oh, you mean the fist fighting?
Yeah.
They're like Dark Souls bosses. Once you work out their rotation, you just
Yeah,
gotta-
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, almost everybody tries to cheat, but I got them all in one try. It was the last one, the rhino, that was actually tough.
Until you haven't done the follow-up one yet.
I guess I'm not far enough. It hasn't triggered yet.
I've only done the twins one. That's all I've done.
I did
Oh,
the twins one. That was a pain in the ass.
guy is a fucking idiot. He's just like, yep, this is totally legitimate. We're 2 bodies with the same mind. And I'm just like, yep, literally everybody cheats in all of their matches. It's so weird.
Yeah, I was expecting just like, okay, it'll just be a regular fist fight. And then I got to like the
You get a good
can't remember
car
his name.
free in one of them.
yeah, but
It's really
And a
good
good sniper-
early
a
on
good
because
that one where I was like, okay, it's going to be a nice fair match, not like 2 steppy hardware, and suddenly he's like doing the sudden like shift thing, and then punched me in the face.
well, listen, the car is really good. It's heavy enough that it can drift pretty easily without going wild.
No, I got the Porsche now. Porsche's pretty good.
I still just ride Jackie's bike everywhere.
Ja-
Yeah.
I like driving
While
Jackie's
listening
bike
to
and then just flying
take
everywhere
these
on
broken
accident.
wings.
Yeah.
You drive it down the pier next to the boulevard, go look out at the ocean, remembering the Jackie Wells while drinking a Jackie Wells.
Get the Katsuragi, the Akira bike. It's faster than Jackie's bike.
Yeah.
You can actually get the Jackie's bike tuned up before you get it from him if you do some missions, and then it becomes the same as the Kitsuragi. It's kind of a cool little secret thing that I found, but
Oh.
Well, Pano, you got anything else? We can't talk about 2077 all day as much as we want
okay.
to.
Other than that, I started working on painting some more miniatures. That got them built up. Just a squad of intercessors. Then the Gravis captain and lieutenant that I'm just now noticing that the grabs captain fell off one of the things I was using to hold him while painting. That's probably fine.
If you can get a squad of intercessors done, you're doing better than me because I just struggle to try and get squads out. I'd rather do single models or tanks or that sort of stuff.
It's probably because of the way I did my paint scheme, but you know, doing like the batch painting isn't that annoying. Just because
you edge highlight though.
What is it?
You edge highlight.
No, I'm going to start attempting to.
Yeah, that's what kills it for me is edge highlighting 10 models before I can move on to the next step.
I don't know if I'm going to worry about edge highlighting on like scav infantry. Essentially,
yeah, I'm debating switching to dry brushing just infantry.
I might try that. I don't know. I got distracted with Cyberpunk, so I kind of stopped doing that midway through because I was getting annoyed at my wet palette.
Dude, this is why I liked playing fantasy, is I could just hide off my mistakes in the massive ranks of my Empire army.
That's why you play skeletons, just so you just dip them in skeleton horde and move on.
Exactly.
I have no idea what any of this means.
Essentially, there's like, huh? No, that's all.
Okay. Let's follow up with Dave.
Yo, what up? Fuck Delamain, man. Hashtag fuck Delamain.
Delamain is a good
Fuck
man.
that quest.
Maybe.
No, fuck that quest. Fuck that
Well, he's
quest.
an AI, so he's not really a man.
He's
Fuck
he
that quest.
appears
He's not
to
really great
identify
either.
in a male-ish way.
You know
Dave?
how fuck... Yeah, go on.
Have you finished that quest line series now?
No, because I'm
Okay.
refusing to do it. Look, I was playing a really interesting mission, and I was like, oh, just call this person to continue the mission. I'm like, okay. And then Delamain fucking invaded my shit, and then it broke my fucking game, and I had to, like, go back to a previous save, like an hour ago, in order to get rid of it. And then I had to force myself to do this fucking mission, this Delamain mission, the one where he's at the roundabout and he's slowly going around. He's like,
Oh yeah, you got to drive.
And you
back
get in the
slowly.
car and he's like, drive slowly. And I'm like, no, fuck that. And then I go too fast and then he stops the car and waits 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck this mission, man. Fuck this mission. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Literally, I
tried to blast
couldn't
through that
open my
mission.
phone. I couldn't open my phone. And then I started reading about all the bugs that Delamain comes into. Like, there's a bug where every single phone call you get, that little heads-up display of the person talking, is just Delamain's face. Like, every single person. Like, that's one of the bugs you can get in this game. And I'm just like, man, if that happened to me, I would quit the game. I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. No thanks, I'm out. Anyway, I'll probably never finish that mission. Fuck that guy. Sucks.
You're missing out. You'd like the end of it. Johnny Silverhand gets involved.
Kills him, kills the AI, shoots him in the face.
Yeah, because that's
With
how
his-
you
with
kill
his
AIs
massive
with
cock.
bullets.
Well, an AI shooting an AI, yeah, come on.
He's not an AI, technically, in a way.
So you finished an AP? You finished that quest series?
I how can I say this without spoilers? I finished it in a way that has an extreme finality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fix, merge, or destroy.
I believe in the way that you're saying it, destroy.
Okay, no worries.
You'd have to. I don't want to spoil anything else. I want to explain my answer, but I don't agree with your assessment of the endings. Dave, what else is going on with you?
I mean, not a lot has happened since. I mean, like right now, we're going from people coming back from holidays to getting into like starting to get back into the groove of stuff. I'm
Like a new groove? Like an Emperor's New Groove?
No, like I'm going to start working again sort of groove. You know, it takes a little bit for people to do that, especially when the creative scene, like you can't just like, right, time to get back to accounting. No, it takes a little bit to wind back up and start making things again. So we're looking at. I'm still getting all my Discord emotes done. They're looking fucking amazing, mind you. If you want, Arthur, I can pass you on her details.
This is
She
for
does good work.
emotes?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right. I'm currently in the market for emoting. Like, I'm getting some emotes.
Do you want me to
lined
send
up.
you? Here, I'll throw an example of what they look like in the Discord chat so
sure.
you can see them.
I was going to get an emote of a word I can't say on Twitch anymore. I ordered it 2 days before that happened, and so I asked the artist if they would change it to shrimp, and they agreed to do so. After months of avoiding that word, to have it taken from me at the last second hurt deeply.
Yeah, no, I get you.
Oh, shit, I forgot I have to delete last night's VODs because people were saying that word in chat.
Oh my god.
Let me go do that before I get banned.
Holy shit. Is
There
it really
were
that
54
bad?
views on that video. Who is watching me play Sea of Thieves 54 times after I'm done playing Sea of... How did this happen? It's the word. They came to see the word. I'm deleting it now. It's gone.
Bow down to the almighty word.
There were
That
more
is
than
the
one word
fucking
too. There
stupidest
were
thing.
2 different words that were banned on the same day by Twitch.
Wow. Friendship and shrimp? My god.
It's not
I was there.
friendship.
I saw it happen.
I can't. There's nothing that rhymes with the other one. Or
I put
any
that
way
in the
I could
wrong
hide
chat.
it by saying a normal word.
I dumped that in the wrong chat. My bad. I put that in the wrong chat.
Why wouldn't you
I'll
just
delete
send it
them.
directly to me?
I want other people to see them too, because they're good.
Ah, Dave.
But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like we're working on so we have 2 games in development.
AP, a word that would work for it would be sturgeon.
That's not the word that was used last night.
No.
No,
No,
not that
I
word.
know what word you mean, but it's as far as rhyme, sturgeon.
But yeah, so
It's Lekney backwards.
Jesus, guys, we can't keep
Oh, that
doing this. It's like we're a bunch of seagulls circling around a poisoned dead animal, loudly squawking.
We should eat it. We should eat it, right?
my God.
Right? We should eat it.
Wow, Dave, what the fuck are these emotes? Jesus Christ.
that's what Discord. It's a different crowd, man.
It's an eggplant and a gun. Both of them are being stuck in mouths in different ways that greatly concern me. Like, if you remove those 2, I probably wouldn't have had any problem. But right now, I'm like, I don't know, man.
You'll be fine. That's just the current meme market. You know, you gotta place your bets. So.
Is this your, like, Henley Chan? Is this your avatar? Is this Pieces of My Heart Chan?
This is Frida.
I don't know who that is.
It's Kinky Friday's mascot.
Oh, so you're like Crunchyroll Chan now. You're literally a guy on a social media account pretending to be an anime girl.
No, she's got
Oh
a...
my! Nope, VTuber Henley. I'm calling it. 2021 is gonna be the rise of VTuber Henley.
So if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna use my my chicken mascot. If I was gonna do that. So.
Nope, it's too late.
But yeah, I mean, we've got 2 games in development right now. That are both gonna have prototypes released on Monday on the Patreon and stuff. And then we have another game that might start up. But over the past couple of days, I've been working with an old friend of mine, and he's going to make another game for us as well. So we're going to have 4 games in development this year.
Okay, listen, it's killing me. I don't know if I want to know the answer, but I assume that the prototype of a porn game is like, all right, here's the introductory story, here's the first puzzle, and then there's a giant blank spot for where the porn will go because we don't have $1,000 to commission the artist yet.
No, not really. Like the porn stuff is like the first stuff that gets done.
Oh,
if I'm
okay,
honest with you.
all right.
Because you need to like it's a vehicle for porn, and that's what the game is. Right?
I understand. Well, I don't know that I understand, but I'll just pretend I do.
So okay. Do you want me to go into?
No.
I didn't think so.
Let's just keep going.
So yeah, I mean, like, you know, I've just been working on that sort of stuff, just putting together the hustle for the next year, and yeah, you know, things are going well. So, but anyway, Arthur, if you want to be put in touch with this lady, she does good work.
Let me think about it. I might have to take a second look at those emotes, see if I can open my heart.
If you want, I can show you what emotes they're based on.
Listen, the gun in the mouth thing is just so concerning for me.
Yeah, it's just based on this one, so yeah, that's all.
You got anything else, Henley?
Not much. I mean, just same old shit, different day. You know how it is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're under lockdown here now.
That must be nice.
Proper. Nice. How so?
That your government cares enough to enforce a lockdown?
Oh, fuck off. This government doesn't give a shit.
Listen, I'm not going to argue.
So
I'm just going to move on. James.
We have a vaccine. No, let me explain this, because I need to say this because we have a vaccine here in Poland for the thing. And they're like, okay, the first people to get it are like, you know, frontline operation people. So like medics, doctors, nurses, that sort of shit, right? People who deal with this, this stuff on a daily basis. Guess who's getting them?
Politicians
and rich people.
Politicians and actors, right?
It's the same everywhere in the entire world. It has nothing to do with Poland.
However, the politicians that were like, oh, check me out, I'm getting this thing on social media, they just got kicked out of the government. It's like, yeah, get out of here. You ruined the facade. Get out of here. Like, it's terrible. Honestly, it's really bad, but I don't know. Stupid. But, you know.
You know, speaking of governments that go on lockdown and actually attempt to fight the virus, let's talk to Grimdark James. That's right. I'm not going to you, Big Spoon. That would be a lie.
I mean, actually, it's funny. So my state government, because we've been tracking sort of like, I think we had 7 cases yesterday, 8 cases today. They've decided to mandate masks from midnight last night. And they've given a 1-day grace before fines start tomorrow if you're out and about. Well, it's not, I think not out and about. If you're in shopping centres or any sort of indoor entertainment things like cinemas, that sort of stuff, you've got to wear a mask now. And so right before the show, my wife sent me to the shops to buy bread. And I noticed that probably like 80%, I think, of people were wearing it, even though it's like mandated as of today. So I'll bring to see some of my sort of Facebook people have arced up about having to. It's our first compulsory mask wearing in this state. So we'll see how that goes down. But
everyone in Poland wears a mask now. Like literally everyone. Like if you
it's been advice for a long time, but in terms of like actually being fined for not doing it, like this is the first time it's happened in this state. Victoria had it already, but
of course Victoria did. That's like ground zero.
Yeah, that's it. And mainly right now they're worried about the fact that there's like, I guess you'd have like a CVS type store, like a place you go to buy alcohol. It's like a center of a cluster on New Year's Eve. So they're worried that will spread very far, which is why they've sort of put into a minor mini lockdown sort of thing right now in parts of Sydney. But that's, I think overall, I don't see it as a reaction. I think it's probably pretty good right now. But in terms of my life, otherwise, I've gotten to the point of Cyberpunk now where I finished every single side job, and I'm just working through doing all the gigs and all the NCPD callouts, which unfortunately is starting to feel a little bit like work.
Yeah.
Like trying to get all those things done before I go to do the final mission. Like I'm just wondering, do I just go and do the final mission now and come back and do the few remaining gigs afterwards? But the completionist in me wants to do it.
It's really hard for me to tell what's better because some of the side missions have been pretty average, and then some of the gigs have been actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And CPD stuff is literally just straight up money. It's like the fastest way to get cash.
Yeah.
You just drop in on a group and kill them all in less than 10 seconds, find the evidence box, and then spend the next 3 minutes looting them while you're like, that was quick.
But then some of those NCPD missions actually give you more side missions to do.
I mean, it's
Like if
just
you read the
it's almost
shards.
always just go to another location under
Although
a bridge and it's surrounded by mines.
This morning I met the girl from the original trailer, the one, the Cyber
The
Psycho.
Bullets trailer, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
that was a fun one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
I haven't
she's in
got
one of
that
the
yet.
side quests. Yeah.
Mhm.
But that's been good. But also, I've been playing a lot of Oculus Quest. So I got that going. Had to go
what's
Beat
your
Saber.
main belts? Yeah,
Yeah, Beat Saber.
That's it. So quite enjoy that. And I got Battle Sister, the 40K VR game.
Yeah.
Disappointed or
So, okay, I'm not disappointed. I think that probably fans won't be disappointed. Hardcore VR players will be disappointed because. So I don't know what to expect. This is my first sort of full VR game. So it's $30 US to buy, which is obviously not like anywhere near the price of a AAA title these days, but it's probably pretty typical for titles on Quest.
it's too high for 3 hours for sure.
Yeah, sorry.
It's too high for 3 hours of content.
Yeah, it's. I've been playing. Actually, I don't know if I'm just taking it slow, but I've been playing now for about 5 hours, and I'm up to chapter 8 of 10. So what I'll say, so my negatives for it are that the environment graphics aren't the best, particularly outdoors, where pretty much like the first few levels are outdoors on a planet. It's pretty much just rock walls that are almost single tone, no real textures, and prefabbed. And I guess that's part of like letting the game run quickly on a what's effectively a mobile phone platform. My other complaint is that the levels are distinctly very linear, sort of like Call of Duty levels, and sometimes also the path forward isn't necessarily obvious. Like I had one point where I was like looking around for 10 minutes while the Black Templar NPC saying, go and push that console over there so we can continue. I'm like, what console over where? I can't find a console anywhere. And he says every minute he says, go push that console over there. But so they're my only negatives. Otherwise, the models for like the characters and the enemies are all really high quality, really, really good. I like the sort of I haven't played much VR, so like the VR element seems to work pretty well. I've discovered it's a shooting game where there's not much ammunition. It's all very sparse. So I've decided that, in my mind now, Battle Sisters spend an inordinately large amount of time opening random cupboards and boxes looking for spare bolt rounds because that's what I spend most of my time doing in the game.
Man. That's what the VR experience is. Get prepared for that. Like, you think you can get it. Like, here's the thing about VR. The most mundane shit become incredibly difficult to do in VR.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much my experience so far. Like, oh, you want to open that cabinet? Try grab it like 3 times before you can open it. And then it like when you open it and let go, it slides back in like a fucking like it's got a mind of its own. And then you have to like reach in and grab it, and like walking becomes so fucking difficult. You're just like, oh.
No, I mean it's more things like, think about like lockers where you've got like the 6 foot high lockers, and if you open the left door first and it goes over the right door, trying to close that door again so you can then open the door beside it is a hassle. So always got to open right to left to make sure I don't like block off any doors.
My favorite is when you open those 6 foot lockers, which is in every fucking game. Even Beat Saber has them. No, you open them up and then you scan it, like, yeah, that looks like nothing. But then you see a little tiny white thing on the bottom, and then you have to like fucking crouch down, and then, oh yeah, there it is. The thing that's on the very bottom, on the bottom shelf that no one puts anything on. There it is, the thing that I needed.
But I have a lot of fun with it. I quite enjoy. It makes me want to play more. Like I think I already bought like Vader Immortal as well, but I want to finish Battle Sister before I go and start something else. Given I'm already playing Cyberpunk.
If you want like the open world thing, like Saints and Sinners is fucking great for that.
Yeah,
like,
a lot of people rave about that game.
I have a recommendation for you, James.
Yep.
If you like punching yourself in your dick, literally get Vox Machinae, because the eject for your mech is 2 grip handles where your waist should be located.
Like it would normally be on an actual aircraft, for example. Yeah.
I misjudged the speed and distance the first time I did it.
And just
with
like
my
Johnny
right-handed controller,
you have a massive cock. It
So,
gets in the way.
The thing is, right? I don't have my controllers near me. They have a giant ring on the end
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, all right, I'm getting close. I got my hand gripper. Yeah. But what's really happening is not that my hand's close, it's that there's this fucking huge ring here colliding with my dick. So,
because like I previously showed, the dick gets everywhere.
Let
me
be really clear.
The
situation was, oh my god, I'm gonna explode. If I don't eject, I can't save my character. Whoop! Fuck.
So I haven't yet punched myself in the dick, but my controller has impacted the side of my son's head when he was walking through the room. I was going VR.
You know, have you ever seen someone try and dodge someone playing Oculus before?
About that.
It is like there's no, like, as a person trying to dodge someone swinging their arm around in virtual reality, you think you can judge, like, okay, go now, and then they hit you, right? Like that's it's almost like Murphy's Law. Like, yeah, you are going to get hit if you try and sneak past this person.
Yep. So, but I'm looking for a puzzle game. I want a VR puzzle game. Like, I understand there's like some escape room type things, and
yes. So check out
VR coming out 2021.
Shut up. What you need is
the fluid mechanics. I heard are really good in VR.
Arthur.
All right, so grab a game.
I have to have a little bit of fun at Headley's expense after he spends all his time trying to burn me.
No, okay. Grab a game called I Expect You to Die, which is basically like
I've heard about this one. Yeah.
James Bond escape simulator. It's fucking awesome.
James, we should play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes in VR.
Yeah, I really want to play that. I've seen that. I've watched videos of that. I watched, those experts play videos. I watched one. They got a couple of EOD guys to play the game, but I've always wanted to play that game. So
we should do it together. I'll be the guy reading the book in non-VR.
It's not like I haven't had VR for a long time, Arthur. You've never invited me to any.
You've never said, you know what I'd really like to play, Arthur, is a VR puzzle game. I'm sorry you didn't have that incredibly specific request.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of escape rooms in real life, so
super hot VR is also very puzzle-like as well, if you're into that stuff. So yeah.
You got anything else, James?
No. Please go to Spoon.
Spoon, what do you got?
Oh, I've been watching The Expanse recently, catching up on that after the first few episodes have come out, and now I'm caught up and waiting for the next one because it didn't drop all at once. It's been fifth season's been pretty good. It's a good show, man.
I need to start season 2.
You do need to start season 2.
Yeah.
I think I finished season 1 right when they announced that when it was going to be dropped from Netflix.
Okay,
and I sort of thought, like, what's the point of watching it now? It's not going to keep going. And
sure.
I haven't picked up again since.
Yeah, no, it's super good. Like, it's one of my favorite sci-fi shows out. Like that, and probably like the Battlestar Galactica reboot. Are my like favorite sci-fi shows. And then I started watching Cobra Kai season 3. Which has been that's just kind of a fun, nostalgic 80s show. That's
yeah. I have this problem right now where if my wife's not interested in watching it, we don't watch it. So
yeah,
that's
you're gonna have that problem for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're pretty much stuck with that problem for a while now.
Oh no, normally she's pretty chill about it, but it's more like I'm just not in the mood to watch something right now. Like,
sure.
And it's one of those things where, like, if I watched it by myself and then she's like, oh, that looks interesting, I want to watch it, and it's like, well.
Unfortunately, Dave, my wife and I, what we tend to watch together now is mostly reality shows.
Like, no, I'm with you.
The Amazing Race, or she likes Survivor now all of a sudden, So if it's actually like drama or sci-fi, no, I have a hard time getting her into it. She'd rather play phone games.
Yeah,
that's okay because she watches Scrubs and I play VR games now.
Hey man, Scrubs is a good show too. I'm
gonna watch
everything
that
but
again.
the last season is okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
You got to remember though, my wife's an ER nurse, so she can't watch it without critiquing it constantly.
Gotcha.
I heard it's actually pretty good though.
I do that with movies. Like, I'll point out the most like minor things as far as like videography stuff and stuff. There's even one movie where they had a guy on a mic on a stage and they didn't have a plug, like an XR plug in it. I'm like, that doesn't have a plug in it. Who's he talking to?
I thought you were going to say that you critique the painting in movies. It's no way would you use that white on those walls with that
eggshell in this room? No.
There's only one choice: interactive cream.
I've started to notice like small like continuity stuff like that, where it's like, oh, that's not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that. Or
having worked in movies, especially around movie firearms, like I do tend to notice any sort of firearm, incorrections. I don't go posting on IMDb. I posted one thing on IMDb, and it was about a camera, not about a gun. So.
I haven't posted anything on IMDb. I just say it in front of friends. They hate me for it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, though. It's just, we've already talked about Cyberpunk, so I'm ready to get started.
Okay. Let me write down the time.
All right, you guys do that. I'm just going to wander and get a drink real quick, but I'll be back.
Okay. You go ahead and get started, James.
Okay, no worries. I just realized I've closed my notes. Be aware of my notes. All right, previously on Rogue Trader, The Tide of Iron, we see the group speak at length with the Spider Bride, who seems unusually forthcoming with information. After Nero and Adrian leave, the Spider Bride reveals a terrible truth about Syndrassus to Pierre and Dawn. The group finally leaves the pavilion of the Spider Bride, having acquired Joss, an assassin and agent of the Bride. Attending Gabriel Chase, the group encounters a demon in a mockery of human form within the great clock chamber of the building. And the crew finally begins shore leave, starting with Pierre and Joss attending a production of the famous Mask of Camilla. Thought for the day: death is the servant of righteousness. So I believe that we sort of ended off with a bit of a shore leave montage of the various things that you could do on Quaddus to unwind, and presumably the crew of the Hand of Calixis and also the Eternal Praetorian. Is that also
correct?
Getting shore leave at the same time? Okay. So
the Eternal Praetorium only gave one cheer for the Lord Captain and none for Nero, but there was a cheer.
Okay, no worries. So certainly the tourism trade in Quaddus has boomed right now with 2 full ships worth of people, enjoying shore leave.
We prepped that area, man. It was like a WWE show, right? We let them know we were coming, and we staged it.
Yeah.
So how much crew dies in the midst of all this?
Probably just 1% from each ship.
Oh, okay.
So it's about 500 people between the 2 ships.
That's a whole lot of people to just die, James. What the
Liver
fuck?
Liver poisoning. They have no self-control.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's always fun hearing because James always give prayers let's see, your 2% die, so that's about 2,000.
Listen, I have to tell you, if a
roughly?
U.S. Navy warship rolled into a port and 1% of their crew died there, the ship would not be leaving until they had some fucking answers.
Okay, so you remember that on a US Navy ship, every crew member is accounted for. There are people on your ship that are not on the books anywhere.
That's true.
Like children, ratings, stowaways, all that sort of stuff are just miscellaneous crew that work in the bottom of the ship. And so, you have things like some people just have gone, never come back.
Okay, look, stowaways, random people dying after they get to the streets, that's fine. First off, did they just sneak onto our shuttles? How does that even work? I don't know. It's space. There's not like you could just walk off the ship.
You also have to understand that the ship is like 15 aircraft carriers strapped together. So
it's just the sheer number of people coming on and off the ship means that it's hard to police.
We need to talk to our fucking security. This is how we get Death Watch, Chaos Death Watch in the fucking air vents. Okay.
The biggest wing of the medical area is likely infant care because of the amount of birthing going on in the ship.
Yeah, I mean, there's no daycare on the ship either, so
Whoa,
There's,
whoa, whoa,
you know,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey,
Take your kid to
whoa.
work day.
I don't know
every
that
day.
that's true. We specifically have clankin quarters, right? Like each of
I
the
suppose you do. Yeah, so you
yeah,
probably
each
got
of the
you probably had to
sections
have,
is their own family. So I feel like they must have like a
yeah,
communal
there would
daycare.
be crew assigned to those sort of
Yeah.
activities. It'd be
Look,
like
we have to
creches sort of-
raise children on this ship, James. We can't just allow them to wander into the fucking armory and handle the
Start
noxious
throwing
chemical
grenades, yeah.
ammunition.
You got to also realize, by the way, that Quadus is like an unregulated town, so there's not like much in terms of, you know, like, so people end up getting into fights and dying in fights, and it's like, you know, the amount of people that die is not irregular. In fact, it's probably a bit light on for what you'd expect when the crew goes on shore leave.
Yeah, of course, the murder rate in Antarctica is only 70 people out of 100,000.
That's it.
So low.
So I believe that you were discussing, first off, are you going to destroy Gabriel Chase or not? The building in the middle which houses the Great Clock.
Okay, so the first thing I'd ask about is, or it's like get together with like some of the nobles that tend to like want to preserve the place.
Yeah. Okay, so you'd like to call like a group of the nobility together.
I
in order
essentially
to-
want to go to like the central nobility house, or like the center, press the emergency meeting button.
Yeah, have you thought
Okay.
this through? Because their first question is going to be, who are you to summon us?
I'm a rogue trader. That's
And where's
Yeah,
the
but you
lust
don't
journey?
own this property, do you? The property is owned by the Harlocks.
I mean, I just
I'm
had to
also a
discuss
Harlock.
this. It's haunted as fuck. The other question is that
Okay, I mean,
that-
I'm just telling you. Their first
So-
question is going to be, "Who are you to tell us
Yeah.
what to do with this property?"
So
and your
I'll-
answer is going to be,
I'll get to that in a second.
okay."
The second thing I want to do, but I guess we want to do it first, is I want to go to the clock tower and touch one of the cogs.
Touch one of the cogs. Okay, so just in the main clock, I assume.
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially where it feels like it's
Warpy.
not good. Warpy as fuck.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
You're doing this alone, without any of us or Cade.
I would bring you guys along.
Okay, but are you doing it with Cade nearby?
Sure, yes.
All right. Well, then it doesn't feel warpy.
Yeah, because
But he won't be, I'll be outside the thing.
Okay. All right. So in the end, you are in fact doing this alone because I'm in the Cade bubble, man.
I guess.
Good luck.
Yep.
When you turn into a mutant frog, I'll be here to put you down.
Yep.
And let's go to double check what the effects of.
I feel like that's a
Space
significant
madness.
PC
He's got
glance
space madness now.
yeah, that Adrian and Nero shares. Like, we might have to kill the Lord Captain here.
Okay.
Did James just say, I just need to check what the effects of touching this clock is?
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Okay, the
He did.
device is extremely unnerving to look at, even when inert. Chronometers malfunction nearby, Auspex systems register malfunctions, and any psychic power attempted nearby suffers psychic phenomena, irrespective of what you roll. So it's nothing is obvious to you other than the fact it feels, it's unnerving to look at, and probably unnerving to touch as well, and probably your any sort of personal electronics on your body go haywire, like your watch. If you've got any sort of scanner, it just reads completely anomalous readings. Probably,
That doesn't sound well when I have a plasma
compasses
pistol.
spin around.
That's, plasma pistol gets a little bit too hot while holstered. Just toss that to the side. So no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's the other thing I want to do in case some weird shenanigans.
How do you
is
feel,
forced.
Lord Captain?
Oh, it's just unnerving as usual.
You don't feel anything warpy or voidy?
Well, yes, because of the room.
You still love the God Emperor?
Of course.
Okay. Just double checking.
Nero, that's not actually a good way to test people if they.
You see a turtle in the desert flipped over onto its back.
Why aren't you helping it?
I don't care about a turtle flipped on his back.
You see a tram coming towards you very slowly, and you're at the intersection on the lever.
Okay, so I guess the next step would be to ask Matt, the Spider Bride. How would people of this town feel when the clock towers exploded?
Okay. So you got to her. You ask that question.
Yeah.
Well, it is a central gathering point for the whole town. That's not so much the problem. Is that I think that you probably lack the technology to destroy it.
You're saying a whole bunch of explosives won't destroy it.
That's correct.
What about friendship?
Something about Harlock's clockworks render them nigh impervious to harm.
What about a lance strike from orbit?
Well,
remember that it has something like a 16-kilometer deviation.
Yeah,
and it's in the middle of the capital.
A land strike is 1 kilometer.
On
1 kilometer. A macro battery strike is 5 kilometers.
Okay, it's a. Listen,
Have you
I'm
ever
all
turned
for
on-
destroying things from orbit,
a
but that's a
hypothetical
huge
question.
derivation level that I'm not comfortable with.
I
Unless
love
you
the
have
idea, by
the
the
clock
way.
tower is not within like 5 kilometers of the city.
It's in the center of the city.
That's
Of course
actually
it is.
true, though. We do know that it is in the middle of like 3 kilometers of forest, right? We could land strike it and miss
I
and
don't
hit
think
a
it was 3
forest.
kilometers.
Yeah, but under a dome, it's a dome city.
Yeah, like
So
we're
you'll
gonna
destroy the
that
dome to
is
hit
a
it.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll just tell them to like open a hole in the dome in a precise spot for like a couple minutes. We'll
Well, the
just
very
fire a
center of
barrage
the-
through it. Every time we miss, we'll just get them to open it again. All the air will go out, but we'll reseal it. It'll be fine. Nothing will come in, surely. Like
Okay,
I also
radiation.
love the idea that hitting this thing with a lance strike or a beam from space would be like, you know how you turn on the sink and there's a spoon on the bottom and the water like
Just-
bounces off. That's what I'm imagining would happen if that hit it. You know, just
I think
So-
regardless, the land strike is out of the question.
The heaviest thing I've heard have been deployed against Harlock's contraptions has been melter bombs, and that's been unsuccessful.
Oh, what about high explosives?
I mean, that's
Those
what a
are-
melter bomb
That's
is.
a melt. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
melter bombs are pretty
Okay,
high,
like
fairly
blasting
high
fires.
grade.
The heat of the sun, basically.
Mhm.
Okay.
what about two
Yes.
melter bombs? Hmm?
Well, so the issue with this thing is that as long as it stands, or I guess it's not perfectly sealed, which I'm guessing, since the pendulum was taken away, that was what's kept the demon at bay.
It seems that way, but it seems that the demon is only awakened by the blood of your line. As I said, it only re-emerged after 10 years when you returned here.
Interesting.
So, if you leave, Lord Captain, it seems that the people of the city will be safe again.
Well, we also killed it. Or
Well, we banished it back
Banished
to the
it.
warp.
Dawn did. She did pretty much all the work. One hit. That was amazing.
Thank you, Lord Captain. And it wasn't me. It was the grace of the Emperor flowing through me.
Well,
Nero, do you console your heavy bolter at these statements that it did nothing?
So the thing is, we don't know that that's how it works. So I don't need to flex. I know that the machine spirit inside one has served me well.
is there a way to find the pendulum? Make a new pendulum for it? Or have those schematics been lost to time?
So the clock wasn't produced here. Harlock had some way of making these clockworks that I'm not aware of. I believe that the materials came from outside the sector. If you're planning to travel to Sinofia, I mentioned to you the Clockwork Court on Sinofia. If you speak with the Keeper of Records there, they may have information about how and when each device was built and where it is now.
What color were these cogs in the clock tower? Were they just like brass or?
Yeah, like
Eight-pointed
many.
clogs.
So I mean, a mixture of brass, like a sort of like a gunmetal style, like almost leaden color, and gold.
So
Clockworks.
what I'm wondering is that if possibly these things were made out of the same metal as like what Necrons have, where they kind of regenerate.
No.
Okay. All right. That threw that theory out of the way. So I guess we'll have to leave the clock tower alone because apparently we can't do anything about it unless we,
Destroy the whole city.
destroy the whole city and, void everybody out to space.
I mean, if its presence disturbs you, you could do things like dig a big hole and drop it into the hole and bury it, for example. That won't destroy it, but it removes it from direct exposure to the citizens of the city.
Is there even a place to dig a big hole and put it?
I mean, we're on a planet.
Is this planet like a sprawling city or just a city in one spot?
So the Quaddus is right at the North Pole. So the planet itself is, other than the two poles, it's too hot for civilization. But at the North and South Pole, there is, it's temperate enough to have a city, although it still needs a dome to keep it comfortable enough.
Okay.
Yeah, the problem is the South Pole spends, almost all its time in the dark and has like, a few days or, a few weeks of light, whereas it's the way around to the North Pole.
Okay. So it might be a problem that we could fix or work towards another time.
I mean, the clock has been here for over 100 years and we've only had a couple of demonic incidents.
Fair enough.
Specifically when a member of the Harlock line shows up.
Yes, but I'd like to come back here on occasion.
Well, that's fair.
I don't have to come back and kill a demon every now and then.
Or, Lord Captain, let me reframe it. You have the pleasure of putting a demon back in the demon realm every time you return.
I want to know that I just kind of stood there and watched as you guys took care of it. Let me rephrase it. I have to watch other people kill it for me. Like if I had to do that, I'd just do it at home, sitting down on a monitor or something, while having like one of those cool like tactical cams that they see in movies.
And then you give orders to everyone and watch them be carried out.
Yes, and then like when they get killed, the screen just goes blank.
Well, perhaps by the next time you return, you'll have discovered the lore to rebind the creature in a new stone, in a new pendulum.
We'll just have to find what schematics is this, because I'm guessing that this pendulum is very specific in size, shape, weight for it to work. Yes.
Who knows? Perhaps we'll recover it when we find what happened to your sister.
Perhaps. Well, it's all the business I have here.
You have ways to contact me, and Joss can answer some questions on my behalf. I've given her as much information as I can to aid you.
Yes, that would work just fine. Anybody else have questions? Anybody?
Nero?
Nero's just not wanting to get involved. He doesn't trust very much that this woman has to say to begin with.
Nope, I guess we're good.
Okay. So you leave her revealing once more. So what's next for the crew of the Hand of Calixis and the Eternal Praetorian for that matter, and or the Gilded Throne, since that's still up in the air?
We've been talking about that one. Yeah.
So we're essentially going to see is if we went to stop by to get the Gilded Throne real quick, if we had enough time to get the Tide of Iron, to the Iron to the location.
Okay, so the Tide of Iron, you were asked to get there in a year.
Yes.
So right now, since you picked up the Tide of Iron, about 6 weeks has passed. So you've got a whole lot of time to cross the sector over to Zassad. It's probably about a month each way, depending on how well, because there's no direct warp route, so Riani would have to roll, on the warp travel tables. Short of taking like a 2-month each way trip going through stable warp routes.
So I feel like maybe we come back in some sort of pavilion, and Nero's just like, and that is exactly why, as we discussed last night on stream, Lord Captain, we should definitely go pick up the Gilded Throne in order to have overwhelming local superiority of firepower at Solomon, at Kolth, and indeed at the 13th station, if and when almost statistically certainly we go there. And I would like to mention again, I know you were not thrilled with this plan during our off-camera discussion we had. Obviously just happened for us, but for the audience, they know nothing about it. That as the 13th station has been recognized by the Inquisition and therefore the Imperium government as being your mother's claim and thus your claim, all of these Chartist captains and rogue traders who are passing through it are subject to your taxation or any whim, really, in the same way that your acquirement of the Eternal Praetorium was under somewhat questionable means. We could literally just go to the 13th station, wait for these Chaos Trader heretics to show up, and then impound all their ships and make a bunch of money in the process. It's a good way to wait out this tide of Chaos heretics coming out of the evil warp maelstrom.
I think we have to go through the warp maelstrom first before we get to the 13th station.
We turn to the game master, who is standing in a dark hooded cloak nearby, and double check with him how the 13th station works. First off, is it literally a location, right? It's like a set coordinate in space.
It is, yes, and it's inside the moor, so beyond between Port Wonder and Footfall.
All right. Getting to Port Wander isn't the problem. It's the Port Wander to Footfall trip that's the issue, right?
Yes, because we have to go through the mall.
Yes. So
which all the Chaos Fleet is at.
Yes, but my theory is if we wanted to just wait out this Chaos invasion, the best place to do it is in a safe location that they would never expect. The call is coming from inside the house. And you technically own that house. All right, so that's Nero's theory. And then he turns to Dawn and he says, Dawn, in the future, I would appreciate it if you did not attempt to rile me up before fights for your own amusement.
It wasn't for my own amusement. Your understanding of my amusement is very
I see.
lackluster.
I don't need riling up before a fight. I'm always ready to battle.
Well,
even when I'm surprised, I'm ready to battle. Adrian can confirm this.
The last couple of months, you have been, how should I say this?
Battling?
Emotional.
Yes,
which is very
I'm
unlike
human.
you.
I don't know if you know this, but humans have emotions.
Well, I mean,
I would say I'm more balanced than before.
I'm saying is,
since my revelation among the Death Watch, I would say that my emotional keel has been very strong. Have I been irritated all the time? Yes, but that's only because I keep Cade as close to me as possible in order to protect myself, the Lord Captain, and the ship. And his soul-sucking presence is an annoyance. And then I turn to look at Cade and say, no offense, it's just a function of your lack of soul.
He nods like he understands.
Yeah. I know he understands, because this is not the first time we've had this conversation.
I'm trying to say simply that as a human being, my understanding of you is simply that you're a person who goes into combat and that's it. But outside of combat, you have essentially been very temperamental, and it's not something that I can entirely say that I'm confident in your abilities to switch on anymore, if that makes sense.
Dawn, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Miriam and the same thing I told the Spider Bride. Your understanding of who I am is so deeply flawed that you have no idea what it is I do.
That's right, because I have not taken the time nor the care to investigate you personally. I only need you to be ready to go into combat at a moment's notice. And
I am ready to go into combat at a moment's notice, but you should note that it's not like I love bathing in the blood of my enemies. I do so because it is my duty, and I'm skilled at it. And I am fortunate that those two things overlap. But do you see me walking around killing people in my free time? It's not my hobby. I'm not some sort of chaos-loving freak.
The amount of time that I've seen you do this, without whim, you simply gun down anyone.
One time I killed somebody on a whim. Literally one time.
Dark Elder that the captain was supposed to investigate and talk to.
The non-Dark Eldar that showed up out of nowhere that we had no idea would be there and was given an instruction not to move, who immediately moved. That Dark Eldar. The regular Eldar that's not dark, just to be clear.
Yes, that one.
Because I want to remind you, we were on a ship full of Eldar and I didn't shoot any of them.
Except the one that
We
was
weren't on a
important
ship
for the
with
Lord
any
Captain's.
Eldar.
No, we went onto the secret moon of your mom, and there was like an Eldar. And he was like,
Those
look,
were
what's up, guys?
constructs.
I'm like an Eldar, and I got cool Eldar stuff going on. We're at the top of a grassy hill. No one remembers this?
No, Nero, those were constructs, not Eldar.
No, there
they
was
were
an
Eldar
Eldar.
constructs.
I swear. Listen, we shot the constructs.
Eldar
It
was
was
the
the
hologram.
Eldar I didn't shoot. I shot the constructs, didn't shoot the Eldar.
The Eldar was a hologram.
Well, who would know the difference, right? Could anyone really blame me for shooting a hologram of an Eldar? No. But I
The
didn't
Eldar
shoot
that
him because killing random things is not what I do. This conversation is incredibly demeaning.
She's referring to the Eldar that was on the Eternal Praetorium when we first went there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I agree that is who she was referring to. That Eldar was given extremely specific instructions after surprising our crew, to which they did not follow.
I would make a defense for the Eldar, but the Eldar is dead at the moment.
Lord Captain, I'm concerned that you're sympathizing with Xenos, but...
I'm not necessarily sympathizing. I don't really care.
Okay.
I'm just saying there's a natural reaction when someone tells you not to do something to immediately do it.
That reaction, for people who like to be alive, should be suppressed at all cost.
Coming back around to the main point.
What was the main point? My main point was, please don't rile me up before we get in fights.
Yes, we're going to go get the Gilded Throne.
Okay.
So, once you get everybody back on board the Hand of Calixis and then back on board the Eternal Praetorian, Riani has been preparing to make transit to Sinofia, thinking that was the next step in your journey. So, who's going to go and tell her something has to be done differently?
I actually
Probably
wanted
Nero.
to talk to her anyway.
Okay, no worries. So you find her. She's currently working with the Cardo artifacts on the travel to Sinofia. When you come in, she looks up. He looks up. Nero.
Now,
Hello again.
This isn't Heraldius Mercator, right? This isn't the guy with the frog.
No.
Yeah, it's the other guy.
Oh,
It's the other guy. The guy that has all the miniature planets.
Yes.
And maps. Yes.
We're changing course. We're headed towards the system of, I'm going to say Sade, and the Game Master will correct me if I'm wrong. I turned to look at the hooded figure in the room.
Yeah, I'll accept Sade, Sard, whatever you think. I mean, yep.
We need to go pick up the Gilded Throne.
She sort of looks at the maps and looks at him and looks back at you. Okay. Direct, we in a hurry?
Direct.
Are we taking a direct route?
Correct.
All right. I'll probably need a few hours to plan the journey.
Are you good? I know that previously you've had some warp travel issues, and I just wanted to make sure that you're feeling okay before we,
the Calixis sector is a lot more familiar than the Koronus Expanse. So question for you, is Cade with you, by the way? Does he normally follow you around or not?
Listen, the answer to that question is that Cade does normally follow me around, but I would not bring Cade to meet Riani for the same reason I don't bring, I don't know, a fireworks sparker into an armory.
Okay,
Specifically the ammo locker.
Yes, I mean, other than the warp's regular vagarities, we should be this should be relatively easy translation.
Okay. All right. Well, if you need me again during a warp translation, just let me know. I'm down the hall, and I will blow up doors to get to you.
Mm-hmm. So the crew are probably only expecting probably a 5 to 8 day journey to Sanofi. You may want to let them know that we'll be in the warp for considerably longer.
I'm sure the captain will make a ship's announcement.
Suddenly intercoms. Just to let the crew know, we will be in the warp for a little bit longer. We'll be picking up the Gilded Throne. We will not be going to Sanofia right away. Thank you.
Can't say
I've also been informed that tonight is taco night. That'll be all.
Remember, 1 taco per person. Last time a large swath of them was left out without tacos. You don't plan for multiple tacos per person. Don't be greedy. Thank you.
Are you okay, Nero?
Well, yes. It's been unusual. Can I talk to you privately somewhere slightly away from the Cardo artifacts in a sort of conspiratorial fashion? Maybe somewhere dimly lit, maybe slightly smoky or misty?
Well, he bundles up his he takes a hit, bundles up his.
This is your office, sir. I'm not going to throw you
no,
out.
this is so this is a dedicated room that they have. So he has his own workspace as well. This chamber is like where they do their sort of, it's like the map room sort of thing.
Okay.
So yeah, he's happy to lead the map room.
All right. Sorry to chase you out,
really...
Master Rosen.
Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of people look like they came back from that planet a bit different.
All right, Nero's going to lean in. He's going for the full Strider at the Bree Inn look.
Yep.
Like, I must speak of dark things, and says...
Prancing pony.
Prancing pony, my bad. What do you know about House Nostromo?
She gets like a distasteful look in her mouth, like you've just... said what do you know about rapists or something like that? Like something.
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
Clearly
I'm
not
expecting the Witch King of Ambar's theme playing right now. Bum 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 bum. And she's preparing to tell me.
They are what would be considered a shrouded house among the Navis Nobilite. They are still a sanctioned house of our kind, but they're only abided because of their ability. Mutation and madness are hallmarks of their line, more so than others. I know that they tied themselves many years ago to the Harlock line. They were the ancestral servants of the Harlock line, or they do serve other ships as well. But among we of the Nobilite, they are we believe they're an ill-omened family, dangerous in some ways even. I wouldn't go so far as to call them heretics. They don't knowingly they don't propagate the ways of chaos. They still support the Imperium, but their bloodline has been irrevocably tainted by the warp.
Are there any among their number that you trust?
I don't know any personally, but I could reach out to House Santai and see if they can put us into any contacts that might be easier to deal with.
This conversation that we're having, Riani, must be kept secret at the highest levels. Do you remember that your predecessor spoke to me of some things that were sealed by the Inquisition? and caused
Indeed.
himself some consternation.
Yes.
This conversation that we are having exceeds that level of threat and mystery. If you believe that House Santai can successfully, covertly contact House Nostromo and find a trusted member among it, the Lord Captain requires the services of a Nostromo navigator in the immediate future. And you will need to be prepared to accept their number among your choir. But if you cannot do this thing, then we will be forced to take alternative measures. I don't need an answer immediately. Take your time.
I serve the captain in this ship. If the destiny before us requires us to have truck with the Nostromo, that is the way things are. I'm not here to waylay that, simply to provide caution as to what I know of their line.
We understand. It is more important that there be secrecy in our contact with the Nostromo than that it happen. If necessary, we will visit in person. But I would prefer to have a waiting and welcome visit, if such things can be arranged without prying eyes.
I'll do all my communications using my family code. It might take a little bit longer to organize without using open conversation. There is some sign and countersign required, but I think that it will afford you the secrecy that you seek.
All right, perfect. Listen, I'm sorry we didn't get to go watch a theater together. But there are still plenty of opportunities for business lunches over the next few days.
I made it to a puppet show. It was very entertaining.
Well, I didn't actually get a flashback, so I don't know what I did. But
No,
I'm sure I felt a little bit better afterwards. We'll never know what Nero did on the shore leave.
Yeah,
he
I mean,
waited
she
a season and a half for.
She basically briefly describes like a 40K version of Punch and Judy, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected when I heard Puppet Show.
Something with equally dark overtones. All right, so he sets off to get ready for that. So does anyone else need anything before we translate into the warp?
Yes. Nero needs to meet with Dawn again, but privately.
Okay.
Again.
All right. So you find a suitably dark and smoky room.
Nope, that's not necessary this time. I'm not talking a conspiracy. The dark and smoky scenes, preferably with some sort of camera filter lens on it to make it seem even more dramatic, are reserved solely for Harlock business.
Okay, so it's like a half sepia lens.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's like it's like how whenever you watch Mexico in a film, it's always yellow for some reason.
Okay, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, look, they do the same thing to Russia. You ever notice that whenever you see Russia in an American movie, it's always through like a blue-gray lens?
Yep.
And no one smiles?
It's what snow looks like on camera, you know? Like that's just it. Yeah.
Dawn.
What is it, Nero?
Wow, that was... I'm just going to move past that greeting. I require your assistance with several tasks in the immediate future.
It would be good if you told me what these tasks were before you required my assistance of them.
Well, I'm going to... This is a very passive-aggressive of you, Don. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay it out there, since I don't want this conversation to continue at this rate. I would like you to consider in your great wisdom whether or not it would be a good idea to help preach and resolve the faith of our local Janissary contingent. We need to prepare them for the Greenskin invasion. I will be speaking with Adrian about talking to them about basic tactics, and I will be attempting to drill them myself. We need to do whatever it takes in order to increase their local superiority so that our investment proves worthwhile and that our reward is equally good.
I'm a little fucking perplexed here as a player. What is a Janissary?
Janissaries are the religious troopers that we're currently carrying. They're like they're Imperial Guardsmen. You know what that is?
Yeah.
All right, now imagine an
humans.
Imperial Guardsman who gets a burial and a special mask before he leaves, and they pretend he's dead, and he's basically like a Fremen, I guess.
Yeah, they're like zealots.
Yeah, he's a religious zealot with a gun.
And these are
These are the troops that we're
ecclesiarchy?
carrying with the Tide of Iron.
But these are like ecclesiarchy.
No,
Type.
they're Imperial Guardsmen. They do not have ties to the ecclesiarchy.
Other than the fact they're highly religious.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, more so than
But is their religious views in line with the ecclesiarchy?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I would not ask you to administrate to a group of omniscic, what are they called? Skrillexes? I don't know. Skitari.
Hey,
Sorry.
hey guys. So you know how you like alien gods? Well, fuck that noise. Yeah.
The Emperor's where it's at.
Check it out. Robes. Yeah.
We got him.
Fire. Yeah. Killing things. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got that too. Okay, so I'll turn to Nero and it's like, my understanding of their views and direction is that they have already had their sins resolved before they go to war, correct?
Dawn, you can see no reason to minister to a group of religious folks looking for guidance? Simply
I'm
because
asking for your opinion on the matter before I...
my opinion is that I've come here specifically to ask you to continue to minister to them, and specifically whatever ministration is needed in regards to anti-greenskinnery. They need to have stout hearts to face the Xenos.
So you're let me understand this, Nero, real quick, because you've come to me to ask me to continue to do the thing that I'm already doing. Is that correct?
But we've never seen it on camera. I want to make sure that we get a role in there. He says as he turns to the game master in the corner in his hood.
It's not cyberpunk. You can still develop skills by not rolling it in this
Yes,
game.
but we have to do the. Don't we have a? It's an endeavor.
Yes,
It's an endeavor, and I want to make sure we're getting these roles in here. But also,
I like the idea that there is like we're inside the chapel or whatever it is that we have here on the ship, and there is a sign swinging noisily that says like when the sermons are. And I'm just like, as you can see, Nero, we have appointed times every
I understand.
3 days.
Dawn,
where
I'm asking you to go personally to the Janissary camp.
Because the Janissaries have basically created the bivouac inside your
Yes, they have their
cargo
own.
hold.
They have built a town inside of our ship. They do not come here to you. I am asking you to take the mountain to them. Just some mixed religious parables, I guess.
So effectively, Dave, within the Imperial Guard, they have commissars, which are like, think of it like, Russian commissars. They're like the political operatives for the group, but they're also representatives of the church. So you were trained in what's called the Scholar Progenium. So effectively, where children are taken from, orphanages and raised to engage in some sort of activity for the empire, for the Imperium. The Scholar Progenium is basically a religious school, and it either trains sisters for the Order Sororitas, commissars for the Imperial Guard, stormtroopers for the Stormtrooper Legions, or Inquisitors, and along other things as well. But they're the sort of main four things that come out of it. So the commissars are like a faux religious political officer that, and there are commissars among the guardsmen here seeing to their religious needs. But for you to go among them as well would be a step up in terms of ministering to their religious requirements and such, to have an actual priest rather than having, it's like the difference between having a Catholic priest come and visit a military unit versus having their chaplain come and visit them. So that's where there will be, some benefit to administering to their, whether it's, running a mass for them or hearing their confession, whatever the case may be. That's where.
So the part that I don't understand about this is that if they're incredibly like religious, right? Like that's their whole shtick, is that they're guardsmen that are like got this extra fervor.
Yep.
Why have they not sought out the sermons by themselves? Like, is there a reason why they haven't come?
I'd say that because they're like such a large group, they are relatively restricted to staying within the area that's been assigned to them, which is the landing bay. I mean, they once again, they do have commissars with them, so they have the people that regularly see to their needs. It's whether or not they, and probably I'd say that there may have been cases where individual soldiers have gotten like a pass out to leave the cargo bay and may have actually joined some of your servants on board the ship as well, but not on any sort of large scale mass.
Right. Okay. And the other question I have is like, if they have their needs already catered to in a religious sense, are they going to find opposition to having another missionary come in? And
no, I think that effectively, once again, the commissars don't really give like a Sunday mass. They more sort of go around and speak to the individual soldiers themselves. To have an actual sort of an overall gathering thing would probably benefit them morale wise, especially now that you're taking a longer journey to get to where they're going. A lot of them will be wondering like what's going on. And even just to reassure them that, I mean, they probably receive some orders through Pierre to their commanders to say that this is all planned for. We'll be a bit longer. We'll still get there within plenty of time, sort of thing. But some of them may be worried about deviation from their originally planned path.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. That's so. I turned to Nero, and
Nero's been waiting in idle animation the whole time. Yeah,
yeah, just like nodding occasionally, like
he's been doing the Gwen nod for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I put my hand on my head, and I'm just like, Nero, I think I need to look past my obvious issues with you, and yes, I will see to my tasks to these men. And that's really all that needs to be said.
Great,
is there anything else that you needed?
He's already left by the time you said that. Your entire thing was basically like, all right, Nero, I'm going to neg you and then agree with what you said. By the time you've agreed, he's already gone.
Is there like a religious like version of putting a horse's head inside of his bed that I can do?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, like,
do you really want to get in a prank war with Nero? Because that's how you end up with a landmine under your bed.
Wait. You think a head, like a decapitated horse's head in your bed is like a prank war?
For Nero, yes.
Hey, man, I cut off your best friend's arm and stuck it on your pillow. Joke's on you, bitch.
Yeah, I don't really know of any religiously appropriate way to prank somebody. I'm not sure. I don't think that's been sort of factored into many religions.
You thought that was blood of Christ. That was actually just jam, bitch. Joke's on you.
I have a similar conversation with Adrian, which hopefully not only doesn't take as long, but involves less insults hurled in my direction, where I'm just like, Master Thorn,
Nero,
I'm looking for someone to help hype up the Janissaries with some tactical briefings. I know you've also had experiences with the Greenskins. Some people say that the best weapons of the Imperium are the weapons of the Imperium, but ancient philosophers have said that our faith is the true armor and weapon that we need. And I want to make sure that everybody is prepared in their soul to encounter these entities, because they are fucking weird, as I'm sure you know.
I've been considering leading a few training sessions about combat aboard space vessels. Seeing if that's something that they would be interested in learning.
I don't know that we're going to... Well, we could board them. That's a good thought. All right, Adrian, this one... Do you have anything to add to me? Because this went a lot better than my last conversation.
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. All right, so Nero just turns and leaves.
All right, Dave. For the purposes of his prosperity, could I please get from you a roll of Common Law Imperial Creed and Charm?
Yes, give
And
me one
Spoon?
second. I realize I need to open up Roll20 real quick.
No worries. And Spoon, from you, I will take a roll of Command.
Oh boy, it's good. It's a good thing I bought Command last time.
This sounds like a job for me. Why is someone else making the roll?
I was aiming for something like Scholastic Lore or Common Lore from Thorn, but
He doesn't have Common Law. He doesn't have Scholastic Law Tactica Imperialis.
wow. Okay, well, I don't know why I asked Adrian to do this. I'm a lot better than him at this exact thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't ask the captain.
I don't
what were the
ask
rolls
you
needed?
to go talk to the common troopers. That's why.
I was waiting my turn. That's all.
Gee. Gonna spend a fate point on that one.
Please do. We don't need to start out with massive failures.
All right, guys, this is how you incorrectly pack your parachutes.
Yeah. There we
Just
go.
want to kind
Look at
of
that.
jam it in there. Not even try to fold it or anything. Just shove it in.
Yeah, wrap
Nice.
it around this metal pole before you put it in your bag. It's the best way.
Going from a 93 to an 18, that's a good fate point spend.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, nice. Okay. You in, Dave?
Yeah, I'm in. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
so Common Law Imperial Creed on your right-hand side, and then
Yeah.
Charm on the left-hand side.
Is that with 0 on both modifiers?
0 on both, yep. This is Imperial.
5.1 on the Imperial Creed and Charm. Where is that? There it is. I'm going to re-roll that because I got a 70 in that. I'm not sure how I failed.
Rolled by rolling a 73.
Welcome to my life at like a 90 for a charm roll.
Wow, okay, yeah. Once again, good fate point spend going from 73 to
critical.
5. That is a critical, yep, no worries, so... Yeah, well, okay. So it's like there's probably some of the Janissaries are like removing their masks to wipe tears from their face towards the end of.
I also
Dave.
love the idea that this is done completely out of spite at Nero. You know, like
Oh, you got me. You really got me.
That's right. That's it.
You did the exact thing I wanted you to do, and you did it well.
You did
oh
it
boy, you got
exceptionally
me.
well.
to the point where some of them are just like, you know what? I don't need to die.
I guess I'll go to the captain then.
Mm-hmm.
As we're preparing to launch the ship into the darkness of space and say, Captain, I've been speaking with several other officers, but mostly player characters. I don't have any orders for you because you're my superior officer, and more than that, there's technically like a whole 2 levels of officer ranks between you and me. But if there's anything you'd like to do to help hype the Janissaries up, I would appreciate your help. I was considering
I was just going to pull in a big tactics meeting with the generals and the Janissaries.
Are you good at tactics, sir?
I don't know. It depends if it makes me do a command roll or a
The thing
common
is,
law war.
I hate to say this, sir, but the Janissaries leadership does not respect you as a military man because you're not a military man.
Did you not buy Blather Pondo?
Did I not?
I thought he did. I thought he
I
made
thought
a
you did.
huge
I
hype
did.
about it for
No, I
like
did. I
10
just don't have it
weeks.
marked.
Oh my god.
I did buy Blather.
Okay.
Is he
Yeah, I mean, I'll
blathering
take-
me right now?
Should take a Blather.
I'll take a
That
Blather
makes
roll for
sense.
sure, yeah.
Is it not a? Oh, it's not a regular skill. It's a.
No, it's an advanced skill.
Okay, well, I'm gonna add it in real quick.
Sir, you are going to blather at them for a while? What do you expect that will accomplish?
I'm going to read an excerpt from my biography.
Is it Int or Fellowship? It's Fellowship, yeah.
Nero,
I was
essentially,
born.
for them to convince them to hear my military prowess, I must bullshit my way through it at first. Make it seem like I know more than I've done more than I actually have.
Okay. You listen, you are the captain. I will follow whatever plan you want to go with. I have presented my objections to this plan as I have several others in the past. I will lead you down there, sir. Please get
I
in
like
the
the
golf
idea
cart.
that you walk. you walk down there and everyone's standing at attention. He's like, guys, just take a knee. Just come on, everyone take a knee.
Bring it in, everybody.
Bring it in.
He goes
Get
through like a
comfortable.
camp counselor feel.
That's right. Can we start by holding hands? Everybody have to hand the person next to you.
All praise me. Thank you for coming down me. You're very welcome,
Pondo.
everyone.
Let's see what you can do
So-
with Blubber. I think this
Okay.
is yeah.
So essentially, at first, you'll be talking about what the new plan is to go get the Gilded Throne in case of having to have an extended space battle with the Orc Corsairs or yada yada yada, and then go into like, okay, so in case this happens, we'll do this, and this happens, we'll do that.
So what I'm hearing, what they're hearing from you is that you're no longer just the delivery service. You're now a part of their war. You know, your successes are their successes, and vice versa. And that by getting this extra ship, you will bring an even greater force to bear in the Battle of Kolth.
Absolutely.
Man, that certainly sounds like something Nero would say. Yeah.
So how close are you to Malcolm Reynolds? Like when you do this sort of stuff, like he's a Firefly main guy.
Yeah, I want to remind you
Yeah, I
that
was
Malcolm
like, that name
Reynolds,
sounds so
he
familiar.
critically failed several diplomacy checks historically.
That's what I'm saying. Like you like the type of guy that's just like,
Don't put that
"Hey,
hex on
guys,
me.
He
check
started a
this out,
civil
right?"
war.
Don't put that hex on me.
Canonically,
Okay,
he's
so-
like Satan.
Malcolm Reynolds.
Yes, essentially the plan is to get the Gilded Throne
That
to
was
help
his name,
support the
right?
war effort because
Okay.
I want to see us win. Go team. Not adding that last part.
Spoon, he's a criminal who started a civil war. What do you think he's going to be recognized as?
Still Blather?
Yep.
Okay. Rogue, does Warrant kick in?
Yep. Sure.
Okay.
Listen, the morality of Firefly is not complicated.
And
This
you
is
and you can contemplate too, because you can plan your speech.
It's not-
This is
do
for
you
the
do
outro
the,
AP.
do you walk
If
into
you want
the
to give me
mirror?
that's fine, but it's for intelligence stuff. is
Oh,
what I
okay. No,
found
worries.
out.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. No.
Well,
worries.
how about this? What if you stand in front of the cyberpunk mirror that's on the edge of the stage there? Look at yourself, smirk.
wow. 7 degrees
Oh, no,
of
I need to read-
success.
No, that's not right.
On
I
an
need to do that.
86? That can't be right.
No, I don't know what happened there.
You added 83 to your skill level.
Okay, that sounds better.
So he only rolled a 3 then, by the sound.
So it's so you did plus, you typed in what the new score should be. Okay, I get
Yeah, yeah.
it. Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know what
failed.
happened
He
in the
failed
first one.
horribly on the first roll,
That's
I
right.
think.
That's right.
Actually, no, I'd only failed by a couple percent, so I'd be rolling at 83.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, no worries. Okay, so yep, they are inspired. Everybody is happy for this. Everybody's feeling good for their jump to the warp. We'll quickly do the warp translation rolls now before we go to our break, so I can then plan the warp shenanigans that will happen in the second half of the show.
Wow.
Because it's a long journey.
You just skipped
all right.
over Nero. He didn't get to do anything.
Oh, sorry, Nero. Go
You
ahead.
inspired the rest of the crew to do something.
You inspired us.
That's fine.
Nero.
Let's do the rolls. Who's doing the roll this time?
Okay, so we can share the roles because there's 4 roles to be had. So,
Oh, perfect.
so AP, let's start with you. You can help in terms of the navigator's estimate. Okay, so this is going to be a warp navigation test. Her warp navigation is
I just wanna
45.
know-
Plus, you get plus 20 because it's a well-known sector. So you're rolling under 65.
Yep, got it.
just
By-
barely.
Exactly. Okay, no worries. Because degrees matter on this roll.
Yep.
Okay, no worries. So now we need to do. So with Spoon, you can roll for locating the Astronomicon. This requires a plus 10 awareness test. Her awareness is 50.
Okay, so
Doesn't she add the detection into the ship as well?
She does have the detection of the ship, yes, which is.
I think 25.
She can use it. Sorry.
Is it 25?
It's 25 on the Hand of Calixis. What is it on the Eternal Praetorian? Because you can use the highest. Is
31. Okay.
So it brings up to a 91% chance of locating the Astronomicon.
Don't tell us the odds.
So do I just roll a D100 divided by 10?
Yeah, that's right.
Or like how do?
Just roll a D100. We'll,
Okay.
Yeah,
Well-
we can work it out. 2.
Yep.
Okay.
That's critical success.
Found the shit.
Okay,
It's, oh, it's
yeah.
right there.
It was under the
Now, where is that
castle.
stuff? Ah, shit, it's burning my eyeballs. So bright.
Okay, so Pondo, you can roll for steering charting the course. So this is a ordinary, as in +10 navigation warp test with secret GM modifiers. So that for you.
I'll do a +10 to make them do it better.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're at 65 right now.
Ah,
Okay, cool.
Wow, we
So
hit
if-
everything. Is that the first
so
time
if
we've
they-
done that?
If there are bad things coming, you'll know about it. That's the main thing from that. Okay.
great.
And then finally steering the ship. So this will be for Dave. So this is a warp navigation test modified by the degree success for the first roll, which was the charting the course.
Yeah.
0. So this is going to be a 45% chance, Dave.
This is the one I wanted to +10 to.
Yeah, and this is one where you don't want to fail and roll a 9.
What is, like, in the last digit, don't roll a 9.
In either
Either
dice.
digit, yes. Like that time I rolled a 99.
So I have to be higher than 45.
No, under 45. Under 45.
Under 45 and not a 9.
And you succeed. Over 45, it just takes longer. But if it's over 45 and there's a 9 in the dice, then bad things happen.
All right, cool.
Okay, so it's over 45, but there's no 9s in the dice. So in actuality, it will take you twice the duration. So it actually takes you about 50 days to reach the destination. So now what we need to do is warp encounters. So I need to roll 5 warp encounters. Each one we roll twice, and you can pick one. And they're all at +20. So I'll do these. So the options are, so for number 1, it's either 88 or 80, both of which is no event. Okay, for 2, it's
Also, we want to roll high. Okay.
high. Yep. Either, okay, so 67. So it's either going to be 21 or 67. So 21 is lost time, where it feels like like more times pass than actually does pass. Or 67 is warp storm threatens to throw the vessel off course and may damage it during transit.
I think the first one.
First one, okay, lost time.
Is this like the type of thing where like a beard would grow, but it's not supposed to, or like how does that work exactly?
That's where we go. We were on the ship for 5 years, and when they show up, they're like, "It's only been like 5 minutes, guys."
So it would take 50 days. Like, it would take like nearly 2 months, but it will feel like nearly 4 months have passed.
Yeah, that's just one extra book.
Okay, for 3, it can either be visitations. One or more of the crew finds himself visited by warp shades in the form of lost friends or family. Or whispers and dreams. Everyone on board suffers strange dreams and hears hushed whispers when they are awake.
I would go with the first one. The second
Yeah,
one
I'd
is
say the
pretty
first
bad.
one.
Visitations. Okay. Number 4 is going to be either 100 or that's fine. There's no event. And then finally, last one is either 44 or 88. It's no event. Okay,
Wait,
cool.
James, why do we have so many encounters on this journey?
Because it happens every 10 days.
Oh, this feels like
Every
the
10 days.
longest we've ever done one. Okay,
Mhm.
all right.
This is, I think, the biggest jump you've ever
Yeah,
made.
it's almost crossing a sector. So,
I'll buy that. Okay.
okay, cool. So why don't we go to break, and then we'll see how screwed you are after the break.
Oh, screw we are. I feel like we rolled really well. We succeeded on everything, and we had pretty good encounter rolls, James.
Yeah,
Don't pre-stage this.
You're gonna get where you're gonna get. You're gonna get there. That's the important thing.
The ship will exit the warp at its specified destination.
It didn't say who's going to live.
Exactly.
we start getting visitations of each other, but that's because they're future versions of us that die before the warp journey end.
It's going to be visitations, but just visitations by orc figures that Nero immediately tries to shoot and just shoots random people instead.
Okay.
Orc.
We'll be back in the second half, I guess.